All right, so let's do this, okay? So I promised I was going to walk through this trade. So you can see this is a 1 to 10 trade. And why did I take this trade, okay? What was the setup? What was the idea behind, taking this trade? So to begin with, we're going to do a multi-time frame analysis. And majorly, when I talk about multi-time frame analysis, for me, is usually the 4 hour, primarily the 4 hour, the 15 minutes, and then the 1 minute, right, for execution. But this trade, as you would see, I actually took this trade on the 15 minutes. I did not, go to the 1 minute. I didn't even have the time to go to the 1 minute. So it was a 15-minute time frame execution. But why did I take the trade? Okay, so let's walk through this. So starting on the 4 hour, so clearly you can see here had a lot of zones, of course, shown on the 4 hour, as you would expect, as always. You can see clearly on the 4 hour we had series of highs and lows, right? So I had already had all of this drawn out, so you can see just starting from here, without going all the way back. So we had all of this highs and lows, and then here you could see we had a break off this high clearly, right? And our fundamental concept when trading structure is that after a break of structure, we expect a pullback, and that was it. So I waited, of course, for price to take out this high, and when I saw the price had taken out this high, I expected a pullback. Okay, of course, after price takes out this high, price can push up before we get a pullback, but that's the primary concept. Okay, waiting for the pullback. So going down to the 15 minutes, so let's see what happened. So at around this time, this was Wednesday. By the way, of course, this Thursday, and this was I think this was what was this again? A news event, anyways. I think FOMC, yeah, FOMC. Okay, so this was FOMC that came out, and then price just sort of both ways, anyways, and then pushed up higher. So what had happened was in the morning. If I can just let me just take this out, right? This was the trade, but let me take it out just so that we're on the same page, and we can replay exactly what happened. So, here we were. This was 6:30. Okay, so this was 6:30. This was FOMC that caused this giant candle here that we say the week and all of that, and we could see the price was already sort of pushed up from the low that was created, the low that led to the eventual breaking of the swing high on the 4 hour. So we had all of this bullish momentum, and then FOMC came, pushed the price up, and then retraced, and then eventually returning to the high that was created. So this was around 6:15. So you remember, like I mentioned, the basic concept is after a break of structure on the 4 hour, we expect a pullback. And how do we anticipate that pullback? We anticipate that pullback when the 15 minutes changes character. Okay, so this was 7:15, then played candle 7:30. So this was clearly 7:30, and by 7:30 London is getting set to open, right? By 8 a.m., UTC plus 1. Of course, you can put that in context of your own time zone, but by that time, we're expecting London to open. So what I saw here was, number one, let me take this out. This was the high that was created by FOMC. So if I draw this across, I could see clearly here that price fails to close above this high. Okay? If we try to investigate this closely, maybe price sort of kissed it, probably, awesome. So basically it was just some sort of it was a nice liquidity run for me. All of these highs were swept, and then price eventually exchanged character here. If we draw this closely, you can see the price action. Let me just draw this. You see this, okay, pullback, highs. Let me just draw the major ones. You see this, okay. So you have this, price was now slowing down. You could see the momentum was slowing down here, right? And then what happened? Price swept all of these highs, okay, and then changed character. Okay, so this was my confirmation that now price was ready to reverse. Okay, so when I saw this change of character, now what would I anticipate? I anticipate the price would pull back into this area, okay, tap it, and then we get that sell-off, okay, maybe to this area or even below. Right, for me, because I knew it was a break of structure on the 4 hour, I was willing to really sort of maximize the trade. So let's see how that worked out. So you get the idea. So let's see this. So this was 7:30. So what I did was I took out my fib tool, drew this on the last candle up, as you can see there, and then I had my entry just here, and my stop loss. I think my stop loss was just I'm not sure, but maybe around 9 point something or 8 point something. But anyways, my stop was just a little bit above this zone, and then I targeted 1 to 10. Okay, so if I pull this 1 to 10, so 1 to 10 is around. Seems this is so far away from where I actually had my stop loss, because I knew this was, by the way, this PD array, premium discount array. Let's go to the 4R. Let's see what we have there. So on the 4R, you can see that I drew this. Let me just expand this from the low that led to this high. So I drew that as my premium discount. Okay, so that was my premium discount basically. However, a lot of persons would draw this, or sometimes not just a lot of persons, but sometimes I would draw this. I will use this low because this in actual fact is the low of the low that led to this high being taken out. Okay, so this should actually be, where I should have that. Now, because I know this is a counter trend entry. Why is it a counter trend? Because the major trend on the 4R is pro trend, right? It's it's bullish, but this trend is a counter trend entry. It's against the major trend. Now, usually when I trade that, I would trade into the equilibrium of the PD array typically, right? So when you look at the trade here on the 15 minutes, so you can see that I actually placed my target around this area. Okay, so you can see this was 1 to 10. I actually just wanted to get 1 to 10, but ideally I would have actually just placed my my target here. Okay, but I saw the opportunity anyways, and I was willing to risk it, right? So I saw lots of opportunity for price to actually just take out all of this liquidity line around here and actually push into this one, and that was it. So now it did take a while. So you can see this was 7:30. By 8, price was moving away, price no return. Now there was a high impact news that was to come out, I think around 1:15, but my thesis for and my analysis was that price was still gonna sell off, so I left this trade actually on. So around, let's see, around 1 p.m. so you can see price tapped me in here. Now I didn't have the time, actually I wasn't even on the chart, so actually look at this trade to even go to the 1 minute and say maybe look for 1 minute and maximize my return or whatever. No, so it was just a 15 minutes entry. So let's see what happened afterwards. So price sold off 1:15. High impact news came out, price sold off, and then after that, what happened? So price was just dancing around, literally. You can see that, right? So price did its thing, took its time, and then about, let's see here. Okay, yeah, exactly about 15:45, and then RTP was hit. So that was it. Simple idea. Wait for the break of structure on the 4R. After the break of structure, we expect a pullback. How do we know the pullback is starting? We get, a change of character, and we get a change of character not just any time, but we get a change of character just when London is about opening. So we know that that's, the probability of that trade working out, is high, and that, was what happened. So I got that, but then we didn't get tapped in. You can see price actually came, almost tapped us in, but failed to do so. I left it on because I still trusted my analysis, and that was eventually what happened, right? So you see the proof, of course, that I took the trade, on the screen accordingly, and that was it. That was the entire idea of the trade. Okay, so 1 to 10, clean 1 to 10. But of course, I did take partials. Actually, I took partials before price, hit my 1 to 10, and that was it. So I hope you've picked something from this. I wish you all the best. And of course, the promo for ParutoCapital, the stock in profit course, is still on. So please feel free to join in, use the promo and get into the program. Of course, like this video, share this video so that, YouTube can do its thing. And those who need to watch this video and also pick a thing or two from it, will do that. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. See you next time. Stay stuck in profit. Bye.